people want to listen. All right, welcome back to the Water Cowboys podcast. We've had to change locations because of a hurricanado outside. It's getting a little sporty out there, so we thought it might be good for the gear for us to get indoors. I think it's safe to say that Deacon and I are glad to be here this evening.
For sure.
We had a little bit of experience in Atlanta yesterday. I'm shopping for a new get around town car, and I had Deacon take me down to Atlanta and try to pick one up. And we literally drove around the whole perimeter of Atlanta there on 285. We started on one side and it ended up on the other. The gentleman that I was purchasing the vehicle from sent us the wrong address the first time, and the other address that he resent was 40 minutes away. And we just went ahead and drove the extra 40 minutes to not buy that car. We just went and looked at it and decided that it was full of rust and was making some noise, and so we just brought it on down to the house. So it was dark and it was raining, and we were in some weird church parking lot last night. We both thankfully were packing, but I don't know. It was a strange situation. I should have known better, but it's just hard buying a vehicle nowadays offline. You don't know.
No.
You don't know what's going on.
Deacon, how was it really, honestly?
Well, when we first got to the original address that he sent, it was like a really nice, ritzy neighborhood. We get to the other one, it's just a little raggedy.
It's the opposite. We drove through a really nice neighborhood to get to the part that was a little weird. And me and Deacon, the best we could figure is the guy that had the cars, he had multiple, he was like a dealer of sorts. And his cars were in the back lot of a Pentecostal church. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Pentecostal church. And so when I get there, I holler at him and say, "Hey, I'm here." And he comes out of the church. So, and he was dressed like he was going to go play golf. And anyways, he just looked like a used car salesman.
That lived in a church?
Yeah.
That lived in a church. And Deacon, he got underneath the car and checked it out. And the tie rod ends were flaking rust.
Yeah, you could have took a hammer and hit them one time, and they would have broken too.
Yeah, and then we went for a little test drive, and sounded like the front left CV axle was coming out of it or something. So,
yeah.
Anyways,
10 out of 10, don't recommend?
we don't recommend. No. So we just decided to come on home last night without a car.
But I've still yet to figure out why you need one. Why do you need a runaround car?
Everybody
You don't
asks
go
me that.
Anywhere.
Yeah, it's because I like to have a clean vehicle, and I like my truck to be clean. And
You like it to be clean so much that you're willing to spend $10,000 on a runaround just so your truck stays clean?
Absolutely.
That's
What
a lot of
about-
car washes.
What about the other truck?
Which one?
The nice one.
I sold it.
Oh.
So I had a 96 Nissan hardbody. It had 95,000 original miles on it. And I bought the truck from a guy that got it from a couple that was there was a bunch of tornadoes here several years ago. Anyways, he got it, didn't have a title, so I bought it for like $3,000. Anyways, when I sold it this last time, I sold it for $9,250.
Golly.
So
With no title.
You bought it.
no, it has
Rebuilt title.
no, it has the original title. I had to go through the state of Vermont and all kinds of different things.
So
Anyways,
you bought it this last time for how much?
now I bought it, sold it, and I bought it back. I bought it back for $8,500, and then I sold it to another person again for $9,250. People want those trucks apparently.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, the guy just knows you drove it around for a little while and made some money off of it.
That truck out there, he's had for a little over a year and put like 6,000 miles on it.
Hey, what?
He's only put 6,000 miles on that truck since he got it.
He only drives it to go to Arkansas or Nashville.
Yeah.
So if you take all your like vacation top trips out of it, you don't even need that truck.
No, the only reason I truly have that truck is because of the bay boat.
Oh yeah, that was a whole excursion. Good Lord.
So we all know why I have the truck. It's not really an option not having that truck. Lucas knows for sure. Better than
I think Lucas wanted to kick in on it, on getting a new truck after
Yeah,
that
that
trip
time
to
I had to
Florida.
buy gas for 6 miles a gallon. I was out.
I think Lucas is going to take our offering at church Sunday morning to see if we can't get us a new ride.
Could y'all not literally see that hand moving, the fuel hand?
I'll distinctly remember saying, we got to get gas again. Lucas goes, are you shitting me?
It was like 30 minutes ago.
It was awful, man.
That's terrible.
Yeah, so I don't suggest anybody buying a
EcoBoost.
EcoBoost F-150 to pull anything
But
heavier
don't
than
worry, just in case y'all were wondering, it had cat skin custom leather in it.
Okay, but yeah, it was a nice truck, but it also sucked when we went to Missouri too.
We were just pulling the gator tail.
Yeah,
That was an experience.
Matt Bailey farted in
What
it
was
and
it,
ruined
like-
the interior.
8 miles to the gallon with a gator tail behind it.
Yeah, it was bad. It was really bad. Me and Lucas were getting 5 miles pulling the bay boat.
5 miles a gallon.
It literally said on the thing 5 miles a gallon.
And there was an EcoBoost Expedition pulling a gator tail. It would stop to our every other stop.
Yeah, and that's just because I just looking for something to do. I mean, really, I probably could have got y'all on every third tank with Sarah's car.
Yeah, no, it's terrible, man. Anyways, we
The
went.
whole ride home, we're searching for trucks.
Lucas. The worst part about the truck was I bought the truck new. It was a 2022. I think I paid $60 for it, and I had some camper shell, all the cool stuff, and I went to trade it in. The truck only had 10,000 miles on it, so it was only like 3 or 4 months. They wanted to trade it in for $42,000. I thought I was going to die. I ended up selling the truck for close to 60, but
Can you trying to make a bunch of money off of you?
well, it's like, can you imagine telling somebody that I want you to buy this truck and I want you to pay $60,000, but in 3 months it's only going to be worth 40?
That's the problem with trading one in at the dealership.
Yeah, I know. I won't do that again. But anyways, so we got a new segment we're going to try to do here. We got Lucas. He is a connoisseur of sorts.
No, he's not. Lucas sticks to domestic only.
Yeah, that is true. I was trying to hype him up a little bit. So we got two
Well,
random.
we're just trying to broaden his palate here and show him that there's other beers in the world. Not that I really have any room to be talking because I'm pretty much the exact same way. But Lucas pretty excited. We're gonna give
No, I'm
Lucas.
not.
We're gonna give Lucas 2 beers here, and then we want him to rate them on a scale of 1 to 10. And he doesn't know what they are.
Which one do you want to start with?
Mine.
All right, here, let's do this big one. I think you already got an idea what that big one is. It's the other one that I can't wait.
It's terrible.
He ain't took a drink of it yet.
He's already mad.
It's not as terrible. I really thought y'all was going to shaft me with something.
I told you we wasn't gonna do you like that.
Wait, you got to say what you think it is.
I'm just getting the paper out of my mouth
Oh,
and y'all wrapped around it.
my bad.
It's a light beer.
I honestly don't know what that one is. I can't remember.
It's not terrible. It's not my favorite.
Scale of 1 to 10. What do you think?
I'd probably give it like a 7.
Oh, 7.
That's
Oh,
not
Better
bad.
than I thought.
Well, that is a good. That's not a bad beer. That's not
No,
a bad
it
beer.
ain't bad.
So we're gonna keep that.
Yeah, that ain't bad.
All right, let's get this other one.
Low carbs. Let's see what kind of diet y'all put me on. 2,695 calories. Ain't bad.
Now, this second beer is my personal favorite.
Oh, it's gonna be terrible then.
It gets on your noggin quick.
I wonder if that's why he likes it.
And if you talk to me the wrong way, you'll catch one of them to the face. And that's a true story.
Oh my God.
Oh no, that's terrible. Y'all can have that.
You don't like that?
No,
That's the best beer there is.
no, that's some kind of IPA. I don't do that.
What's the rate?
Well, you got to rate it first.
Like a 2.
2.
And that's on a good day. What is it?
Tropicalia.
That's that good beer.
No, we're not gonna do that.
I can't even find what this stupid thing is. No. Indian Pale Ale? No, you don't have that India beer.
That's a good beer. I've never seen one that size though.
Well, congratulations, you can have that one.
So the Yingling wins.
Absolutely.
Okay, cool.
Hands down.
Just not cowboy enough, I guess.
So going back to all the stuff that you two been running around doing this past week, Deacon, you got your boat back?
I did about 2 weeks ago.
Need a welder?
Do need a welder.
It's bad when you get a boat back and need to have it welded.
What'd you have done to it?
So I got it repainted. I added a gun tray and gun box in it. It's an Edge 1656.
Low side.
Low side. And the guy that had it before must have had a smaller motor mounted on it, and he didn't exactly center the holes out. So I specifically marked the holes that I use. And I told him weld up every hole besides the one I marked. Well, he welded up the holes I marked and left every other hole.
Oh, dang it.
So we got to restart now.
His motor is inch off center to the right.
The paint job looks good though.
Paint job
The
does
paint
look
job
good.
does look
Everything else looks good. He done a good job on the work.
Clear coat of the paint. Everything
The,
looks really, really good.
Gun tray looks really good.
I do really like that gun
The
tray.
gun box, I'm on the fence, but
So one thing that I would like for you two to do is, I know that y'all like to go drive around aimlessly with nothing to do, and then y'all love to go run duck boats and stuff like that. Which, that's good. I like to do that as well. But I need you two to go map out this duck boat run in Nashville. Just think of it as going to buy a car, and at the end of it, you get to drive a boat.
We was actually talking about that last week. When did we say we was going to try to
I
go?
think we're gonna try to go next weekend.
Really? Okay. So
That's the plan.
So we should have everything mapped out
We should, hopefully.
right after that.
We should.
That's good because we need to be able to give people an area
Yeah.
where we're gonna
Yeah.
enter at and stuff like that, so they know exactly where they can either Airbnb or hotel or
Yeah.
whatever they want to do.
Yeah, we're trying to get that so we can. Everybody's itching to figure out where we're staying and all the good stuff. So
One thing that I like to circle back around to what we kind of finished off last week
yeah,
was, and I'll ask you again, just for the ones that didn't hear it, what is the difference between a pro staff and an ambassador?
I don't remember exactly what I said last week,
It
but
was good, though. I didn't remember that.
really, like, a pro staff is promotional. Well, used to be pro staff is promotional. It's where somebody sends you something and you basically wear it, or somebody sees you in it, like hats and shirts and
Yeah.
gear, whatever. And ambassador used to be, you were pretty high up. You were in with a company. They were sending you free gear. It's like if you're an ambassador for Yeti, whenever Yeti drops something, you got one dropped off on your front porch too. You had it all, and you were some sort of athlete, or you were at the top of your game in whatever sport or hobby that Yeti seen fit to promote. So, but nowadays I think they're pretty much the same. The ambassador realm is it's really all just lingo at this point. I think everybody understands now that ambassador and pro staff is essentially the same. Ambassador just sounds a little bit better. A lot of these companies aren't doing the things that they used to do as far as like promotional stuff. They do, but not as heavy as they used to. There's not a huge difference anymore. So that's really the biggest thing. It's kind of changed over the years. I don't know what your elite person with a company is now. I don't know what that's really called. I guess you're essentially still an ambassador, but
Can you not just say you're sponsored by them or
oh, you can.
partnered
yeah.
with them or
Partnered.
something like
That's
that?
probably the new thing. Partnered. Everybody wants to, be a partner or collaborate, or me and Drew still don't know what collaboration means, honestly.
We get a lot of those DMs like, what the hell is a
It's like,
collaboration?
let's collaborate. When somebody reaches out to me and they want to collaborate, means in my mind, they want me to help them further expand their reach or
They're trying to use each other's audiences
yeah,
to grow,
yeah,
I guess.
yeah. But it's always the people that are, you're not having you're not having Yetis or Benelli's or any, those guys coming and say let's collab. I mean, you're having somebody that sells shoes or something or
Yeah.
you know.
So I kind of gave my point of view on the discount code thing last week, as far as like I don't think that people should work for discount codes. Like I don't feel like that's right. I feel like that's the company's way of taking advantage of somebody because it is free promotion for the company and they don't really have anything invested in it because whatever percentage they're giving off to that person, it's not affecting them at all, especially because they know it's a guaranteed sale.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I also understand that in this industry, especially in the creative spot, there is almost like an apprentice stage that you have to go through to be fair, like where you're kind of sharpening your skill set.
Yeah.
And like, at what point do you know when it's time to start charging? When you're like, all right, I'm not doing it for any more free product. I'm not doing it for this discount or whatever. Like, if you want me to do this, you got to pay me. Like, what? When do you know that it's kind of start time to look for that?
I mean, it's self-confidence. It's when you say, I don't want your free product, I want paid. And you confidently feel that you have reached that stage, that you can get paid instead of product.
Is it because your quality's there?
Yeah, it's because your quality there. Maybe you build up a following or, maybe you get reassurance from things you post in comments or DMs or, I mean, it's all up to you, I think.
So take me through this part right here. Let's just say that a teenager, whatever, a kid, saves up all his money and he gets a camera and a lens, right? And he's got a social media account, but he really doesn't have very many followers or anything like that. What does this kid do to get to be somebody like you or some of these other guys?
I cannot remember who told me this, but it has stuck with me, and I have lived by it since day one when I started this. If you create good content, these people will come to you.
Yeah.
Me and Drew talk about this all the time. Like, I have in my later years, but I was never, in the beginning, you never had to, but in the beginning, I was never someone that would reach out and be like, hey, I want to work with you. Let's do this, blah, blah, blah. I always felt good. And that's what I was saying. It's that reassurance when somebody comes to you and says, hey, let's work together. These companies think of you enough to want to work with you. Now, sometimes it's, they want to work with you with just product, but that's where you step in and say, hey, I don't know that, I think I'm past that, phase in life where it's just product and I would like to get, money compensation for my work or my content or whatever you're doing for the company. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that. After you build your craft, I mean, you gotta learn your craft. You can't just come out of the gate and say, I want $5,000 for a content day or whatever it is.
Yep.
I think you got to learn it.
You just gotta kind of put your head down and just go after it and create your own style because everybody's style is different.
Oh yeah, and after I said what I just said, there's a lot of guys out there that I look up to that I think are just fantastic photographers, and they have maybe 1,500 followers.
Yeah, but just blowing it out of the water.
But every picture is just insane, and that's because I feel like that they got into the game a little bit later than I did, and as we all know, Instagram in general is a lot harder to build like it used to be. So maybe those guys have been doing it for a long time. They just didn't get in Instagram soon enough.
They didn't care.
And a lot of some of your most famous like people that shoot for your Sitkas and your Yetis and those guys that are like behind the scenes shooting for them, you'll never know who they are. Like
Right.
you have to stumble across them one day and be like, dude, this guy only has like 500 followers on Instagram, but he is just like
Magazine cover after magazine cover, just
one
crazy.
after the other. It's crazy. I mean, and it's I see that more often than not.
Some people do this for the wrong reason.
That's true. That is very true. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I think, if those guys would have started back in the day when this whole Instagram thing came about and started posting then, I think it would be a lot different for them as far as like notoriety on who they are on social and things. But yeah, if you start just like kind of like Water Cowboys. I mean, gained a ton of followers in a short amount of time. But it was I don't know, it was catchy. There's not a lot of catchy things that come out and, have the equipment or knowledge to really push it out there and, create good content that everybody, it goes back to what I said. If you create good content, people will come. And that's essentially what you've done for, as far as like the TikToks and things. If it wasn't for that, I mean, I don't know. We are, I think, a cool brand, but I don't know the name alone would sustain the kind of growth we've had over the past year.
No, I don't think that. I mean, they can't like it if they don't know it's there.
That's true. I mean, it's wild. It's been a rodeo, but it's been fun. I mean, it's cool to see. It's cool to know that if you do it right, that you can still build a brand almost overnight.
Yeah, because it came on. I mean, it was kind of weird. It was weird. I mean, and it was crazier for you than it was for me because you've been around it for so long, and the way that things were coming, it was just.
It was like you just don't see things like that. I mean, there's not many companies that just come out of the gate and just bam, bam. Every day you got to go through 100 followers, and or whatever the case was. But
yeah, it was pretty.
It's pretty cool.
Insane. But I mean, it's not like you got there off one video where you had like a 15 million view video or something that blew your account up overnight. It was
several.
It was a couple of steady ones that just kind of got there.
And that's the thing. A lot of people, everybody took time to go do that stuff. Like there was one night I distinctly remember that you had this vision. You wanted to create this video, and you're like, I need to come to your house. I need to pull a trailer. We need to time it just right where you're going down the interstate, and I need to pull on the on-ramp at the same time we need to film it.
That was a nightmare, dude.
And I'm like, we live 40 minutes apart exactly, 40 minutes from here to my house.
Yeah.
And then another few minutes to the interstate. But, I mean, we shot that, I don't know, 2 or 3 times, getting on and off the interstate.
Yeah, and it just kept being like, we're pulling up there and we're like, we have to go get on the on-ramp and do this. And if the shot gets messed up, then we're going back down.
Oh, yeah.
Getting off, coming back up the interstate, getting back off and turning around because that one specific shot, that was the only place that you could do it because the lighting was right.
Yeah, because on my exit, we have huge lights on the interstate. And there's not... Actually, that's the only one between here and Atlanta that has it, that I know of, besides when you start getting into Chattanooga, which I guess that's good for us. But, yeah, that shot, it was – I mean, you had to pace yourself. You had to pace yourself in a lane where there wasn't a car that, on the right side of you because we were shooting on the right side. So if you were coming on and a car was coming on, beside us, it just messed the whole shot up. We had to do it again.
It was a nightmare. And then I'm trying to figure it out because I'm telling y'all hey, I'm not light as you guys. You got to give me a minute. I'm sitting on an incline, so you got to tell me when you're coming, when to get on it. Y'all had to time it right because I had to be entering the interstate the same time you guys were coming.
That was the hardest part because we're running 65, 70, and I'll be we'll be going across the bridge, and I'm like, all right, come on. Well, hell, you're at 0, and we're running 70.
Yeah.
So we were there before you even essentially got onto the road good.
Yeah, it was
fun.
I mean, it's doing different stuff like that kind of going outside of, I guess, what you would normally see. I guess you can see a lot of the crazy stuff now that people are doing with the videography and stuff, but I felt like if you're willing to push yourself and be patient and stuff, because it's easy to be like, well, man, screw it, we'll put something else in there and not whatever. But for that specific video, that's kind of what made it.
Well, you just don't have there's not many brands out there that have creators as some of the people that are in the brand. You know what I mean? It's not. That's a huge advantage to Water Cowboys because. There's brands out there that's been around for years that don't have that kind of don't have that kind of support, and they have to pay for that, which is very difficult. for somebody to afford full time.
100.
Anyways, all right. What are we picking up off on? Where we at?
Lake days, baby.
Where's the Lake Days shirt at?
Do what?
Well, don't we have a Lake Days shirt?
I'll put it on the screen. I'll put the whole Lake Day.
Look here for our Lake Days shirt with Lucas. So somebody has. Okay, so I wasn't there, so I'm probably not the best one to tell the story about Lake Days with Lucas.
Well, what? Deacon, you tell it.
So
Because you took the picture.
Yeah, Lucas was sitting there one day. I don't remember what he was looking at, but he had his glasses pulled down. He was hitting his puffer with a beer in his hand with his shirt off. And we got a picture of it and put it on a T-shirt.
But he's known to do that.
Yeah.
And when he gets to a certain point, Lucas's sunglasses go to the tip of his nose, and he starts looking over top of them. He don't take them off.
And
Yeah.
he rubs his belly.
Yeah.
He rubs his belly.
Well, you got a belly like mine, you got to rub it.
He's just relaxed. There's nothing wrong with being relaxed out there at the lake. I mean, that's the whole reason we're there, right? So
Now, them sunglasses, I don't know what they do to them. Costa, I don't care what you buy. They've got a blur to them.
it don't have anything to do with the beers.
No, it's the glasses.
So you take the picture and you send it.
I
to
sent it to
Tim.
Tim. Tim got, I think it was like 40 or 50 shirts made.
Tim gets
And
the
Lucas-
whole party cove.
Yeah, Lucas didn't know about it, and we got a little cove we all hang out in. And everybody pulls up one Saturday at the lake with their shirts on. And we recreated that picture again with everybody standing with Lucas with the...
Yeah, when we backed the Mastercraft in, I stood on the back of it with my glasses down, just waving at everybody.
We rolled you into the cove, and everybody had the same shirt on.
Yeah.
So when did you know that everybody had the same shirt on?
Well, I'd caught on at the boat ramp because I'd seen like 6 or 8 of me. And I was like, these son of a guns. So we surfed for a while and goofed off. And they're like, let's go to the cove. And I said, all right. So Drew spins the Mastercraft around, starts backing in, and I look up, and there's just white shirts everywhere with me on them. I'm like, I know who the most popular guy is today.
The bad part about it was Tim didn't even get Lucas a shirt.
Yeah, no, I was the only person there that didn't have the matching shirt.
What are friends for?
Tim may not be the brightest one of the group.
I'm ready for summertime.
Oh, I am too.
I'm pumped up about it.
I know. I got my boat out. Me and Josh White, we done a full service on her. It's a lot quicker than I thought it was going to be. But boy, that lower unit oil stinks.
Is everything good?
She runs.
Does it piss water?
Piss water. Yeah, I put a piece of tape over it this year. There wasn't no dirt daubers getting in there this year.
Learned his lesson.
Did you change the impeller?
I didn't change it. Well, no, we just had it changed.
It's supposed to be every season.
I know it was the end of last season.
No, it wasn't.
That was close enough for me. Close enough. I did change the lower unit oil. No, and you know what's funny is instead of doing the earmuffs, I done a barrel this time.
Yep.
So-
I got a 100-gallon
Yep.
cattle trough or something. It's the only way to do it.
Yeah. So now, and I started it up. I mean, this is the first start of the season. Started it up, and I'm like, me and Josh are just looking at each other, and I was like, "You gotta be shitting me! This thing's not peeing." And then all of a sudden, it just started. I guess it had to cycle up through
Takes
there.
a minute
But
to get everything.
I know, but I was in a hurry. I was had my hand on the key because I was going to shut it down before
He
it
had one
started
hand
smoking.
on the key and one hand on the post button for
Yeah.
Marketplace.
Yeah, that's the truth. Yeah, I think that is my last year with this boat, though. She's got 163 hours.
The bay boat.
Yeah, so
Well, that's wore out.
we got to
Yeah,
get her. We got to
well,
get a
Lord,
new
how
one.
you do it?
Got to get a bigger one. Got to go bigger.
I did a bass boat for a guy yesterday. Got a 35 Mark two-stroke. So I put it in the water. We're just checking everything out. Put it in the water, and it's just smoking like crazy. And I was like, "What's up with your fuel?" And he's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Guy told me to put 6 gallon of gas and 30." He just bought the boat. He's never been a lake person before. So he's like, he told me to put a quart of oil to 6 gallon of gas. I'm like, no, like you're like 20, 25 to 1. I mean, it's just it fogs up my whole shop. And I was
Spray 'em for mosquitoes.
Listen,
it was like, look, suck half that gas and the oil mixture back out, put straight gas, and that'll get you closer to 50 to 1. We don't need to run at 20 to 1. You're going to foul point. We're going to be pulling you all over the lake or something.
I promise you right now, I'm not trying to be that guy that up won you, but I got one right now that'll beat you.
Oh,
Josh White has a 1449 Grumman with a 15 horsepower, we'll say, Johnson tiller. Okay. So he's like, man, this thing's a 4-stroke motor. It'll run forever. You know, I'm going to bring it to your house because his dad was moving or something. Anyway, he had anywhere to put it. So he brought it to my house. He said, it has not been started in 6 years. And I said, okay, well, I want to see it run. You said it's, you know, bulletproof. So he goes out there, 6 pulls, she starts up. And I put my fuel tank out of my boat in it, which is straight gas. And runs fine. It didn't pee. So I said, let's order the parts. We'll rebuild it. So I've done the lower unit, rebuilt the whole, you know, water pump and everything. And I said, let's just do plugs. Let's do oil too while we're in there. Could not find an oil filter for that motor whatsoever. Like I searched for 3 hours, no oil filter whatsoever. So I went outside, took a picture of the plates, and I was reading the numbers on the side of it. And it said oil. It was like a W something. I'd never seen it before. So I just Googled it, and it was 2-stroke oil. Come to find out that motor's a 2-stroke. He said, I swear to you, I've been on the lake 3 or 4 times with this motor, and I promise you I've run nothing but straight gas in it.
So does it have an oil? It don't have an oil
Oh,
tank?
no, it's a smaller. It doesn't mix oil. You mix it 50 to 1. So we went, and after we rebuilt it all, I put new plugs in. The plugs weren't even burnt that bad. I put 50 to 1 oil in it, clots, and she fired right up, and it run actually better, obviously, than it did.
Yeah,
we need the compression. We need the
I,
compression test.
we said that the other day. I
You
was
have
like,
melted the rings.
I
out of
want to
this
see the
motor.
compression test bad. I don't have a tester, but I want
I'll
to.
bring you one.
I want to
We-
see
We need to do it.
because I'm like,
But
how?
it can't be too bad, or it wouldn't
No,
have enough
she-
compression to run.
No, she fires right now. That's what I told him. I said, you know, this thing runs good and it sounds good and it's peeing and everything, but there's a difference when you put a motor under load. Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
But, so
No, that's
We'll
pretty
see.
good. That's pretty talented. Most of your older motors like that are 2-stroke.
oh yeah, it's like a 2001 model or something. But yeah,
You just took his word, didn't you?
I was convinced. I mean, I didn't see no reason for it not to be a 4-stroke. I mean, I didn't think nothing
it's
about it.
20 years old and 15 horse.
Didn't even
Hey,
think.
how
I
many
didn't-
15 horse do you see it's a 4-stroke?
Okay, now that I know, I mean, yes,
Let's
obviously.
think about this.
Yeah. I mean, I thought about
Josh
surely.
White said, so here we go.
Yeah, I mean, the man owns the boat. I figured he would know what to put in it. But he said, it's been 6 years ago since I've run it, you know.
You know what he's trying to do? He's trying to fry that motor like he fries our steaks when we go hunting. Just crispy, baby.
Good God.
He ain't gonna sleep for 3 days.
Y'all.
ugh.
He's going to kill y'all.
You think we could get him to go on the lake vacation this year?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, him and Lucas get, yeah.
That's a pretty good time.
Chelsea,
It's a
you remember
real
what he
good
did,
time.
did to you that time on a package shipped to your house?
No, I don't remember.
With the duck call.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So let's ship him some mix oil. It's like, I know you do not know what this is, but try it one time.
Oh, God. I'd love to see him take it to the lake house. His little Grumman.
Oh, we probably would.
You don't understand how wide that boat is. Like, it literally is almost as wide as this table.
What size is it?
It says it's a 1449, but I think it's 49 at the top, or 49 at the bottom. I mean,
Okay.
so it's 50, probably 58 at the top.
Oh, God.
Yeah, she's a wide one.
Like you can lay down and take a nap in it?
Oh my God, yeah, yeah. I think I think if we take that to the lake house with everybody and everybody brings their boats and parks them out there, he'd probably have the nicest one.
For sure. I mean, without a doubt. I mean, we could just run his. See, this is what people don't understand. Like, having a boat that you don't care that much about
Is the
being able
funnest boat.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
By
tie it
far.
up to the dock. Don't even put a buoy out. I
That's
mean,
what-
run the thing up on the bank. I mean, who gives a rip?
I told him that, and I said, "Man, you just don't understand how much I would love to have that boat." He doesn't understand it. Like he thinks I'm being like a smart ass or something. I'm being serious. Like I would love to have that boat.
There's so many times throughout the summer where I know that like the girls want to just go see everybody at Party Cove. I'm like, let's just take the gator tail. Oh no. Let's take the surf boat. We're probably gonna want to surf. And I'll drop that thing in and they don't even nobody gets on a board, nothing. It goes right to Party Cove and sits there all day and then I'm so mad. I'm like, man, I
You're
could have got that
swimming.
freaking aluminum boat and run that thing up on the bank and not cared about it.
Yeah.
You're swimming back and forth to 4 foot of water to get to your drinks or food or whatever. No pontoons, just up on the beach.
I
right?
could have beached that thing for you. We wouldn't even have to tie it down to nothing.
Oh my God.
I mean, if it would have got bad enough, we'd have left it there and got it tomorrow.
Lucas and his pontoon.
And we put a new ladder on it. The wifey had the ladder down. They dropped the lake about 2 foot. We didn't realize, she didn't say she had the ladder down. She just said it stuck, shove it off the bank. We shoved the ladder plumb up beneath it. So
Oh God.
500 later, we got us a new ladder.
Have you
Good
checked
Lord.
the tunes on that thing? Because there was a time or two last year when you were really heavy
Jeez.
loaded. It looked like we were taking on a little bit of water.
Yeah, I remember that time.
They pressure tested. They still good.
Okay.
She ain't holding no water.
I mean, I don't see how they can have water. They hold pressure.
Oh
Oh,
God.
I mean, you don't remember that one time after you got that, we were on the lake and there was that tri-tune there that was taking on water. You remember it was sitting all funky and they were trying to get it on the trailer?
Yeah, no, we're good. I remember what you're talking about, but no, we're good. The day that we took off when you was there, we had 8 people on one side and 2 on the other. So
That's a lot. For
What's-
that boat.
and the cooler, I mean, the cooler accounts for 2 people by itself. So
What
We
size
know
is
Lucas
that boat?
Got that thing loaded down.
22.
Oh, okay. I've never been on that, I don't guess.
22.
It's a nice boat.
I like a good pontoon. They're fun.
Don't it have a changing area in the back?
Mm-hmm.
Does it?
Oh yeah, you can pull your little shower curtain up around you, and
Okay.
oh yeah, Joseph be back there doing all kind of weird.
He can't fit back there.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, that curtain ain't quite big enough.
Yeah.
We'd have to run the length of the boat.
All right, we back after that little break. So a lot of DMs that I get are stuff related to dogs. DMs like, do we train them? Do we send them off? This, that, and the other. So yes, we do send them off. When we have them, when they're a puppy, I just give them to Mama Sarah in there, and she pretty much takes care of them all the way to till it's time for me to get a hold of them. She socializes them and teaches them to sit and do stuff like that. And then when they're a little bit old enough, then they can get to go outside with me and I teach them. So the 3 dogs that I have now is Mally, Timber, and Waylon. And Mally is retired. She just lays around the house and eats Cheetos and chases golf balls. And I like to hit golf balls in the evening. And then Mally and Timber really like to bring them back. So kind of works out for me, saves me a lot of money. The second dog that I have, which is the main one that everybody sees in a lot of these videos and stuff like that, that's Timber. That's the main one. And I love Timber so much and her demeanor that we ended up having a litter. I kept a chocolate.
But hold on. You love her so much that your wife and your daughter is jealous of this dog.
Yeah.
Like gets mad. Oh, Drew, go take care of your dog.
Yeah, they get mad at Timber, and I don't even know why, because so Timber has a bed that is in like our dining room area. And if you don't say anything to Timber, Timber will sleep for like 18 hours a day. The problem that they have with Timber is the traveling that we've done in the past and that we do that doesn't require Timber, and you leave Timber here and Timber will whine the whole entire time I'm gone. If I'm here during normal time, you never know the dog's here. They just don't like the fact that she has separation anxiety. I mean, there's days that I wake up and I work from home and stuff most of the time unless I'm going out to a job site, and I don't even see Timber all day. But it's the second that I step out, they're all complaining about it because she's whining, looking for me. I think she just likes to know that I'm in the house. It's either that or they just secretly have something against that dog, and she really doesn't do any whining or anything.
It's
They're-
probably
they're-
the latter.
They're just plotting against her.
That's all it is. That's what we
But I
need to
will
do.
say, her daughter, Timber's daughter Lucy,
That's your dog now.
she don't have no 18 hours of rest in her. She might have 8 minutes of rest in her.
So going back to what I was saying about, I love Timber so much, and I like her demeanor. I like the way that she likes to hunt. There's and stuff like that. I wanted to keep that going because Mally was becoming that when she started having some of her problems. And now mind you, that Mally came with health tests and a good pedigree and stuff like that. She wasn't a newspaper dog. She was a really, really good dog. Came from a really, really good bloodline, and it just kind of felt like it wasn't meant to be. So instead of forcing it, Mally gets to do dry land stuff, like dove and things like that. Other than that, Mally just roams the farm and does what she wants to do. Pretty good life, if you ask me. I mean, as far as that, but Timber gets to do all the work, and I love everything about her so much that I wanted to continue that bloodline. And we had puppies out of it. Lucas got Lucy, and I kept Waylon, which is the chocolate male that you probably seen on some of these videos and stuff like that. But Lucy
It's
Is
a
it-
spitting image of Timber.
oh yeah, yeah,
I mean,
100%.
identical. She's been in a couple of videos, and I promise you couldn't tell the difference.
No, you can't tell the difference. And so, one thing that I had to remind Lucas about was, and this goes for anybody, if you don't know a whole lot about dogs and working dogs, it doesn't even have to be a duck dog or a lab, a working dog. When you have one with a big motor like what Timber and Lucy have, you have to work with that, work with their strengths. And what I mean by a strength is, so I've been with dogs multiple times when it's really, really cold outside. I mean, to the point where they're like, it's cold, right? I mean, like some of the stuff that we experienced this year with this Arctic blast and stuff, like I don't hunt my dog in, but I've experienced other stuff where I see like their fur freezing and like, freezing to the stand and stuff like that. Timber would rather die than not go. And I've seen a lot of other dogs that are a lot more calm than her that just won't go. You tell them go or back or dead or whatever it is, that dog's gonna look at you like you're crazy. Timber, she's going, and she wants to go, and she understands hunting and like what's going on. And you can take her in multiple different situations, and she does fine. I've taken her in situations where guys are like, "This dog's never hunted here. I've never seen a dog do well." And Timber's just automatic. She's got it. She's figured it out. She understands it. But going back to that, I had to have, a couple conversations with you to like tell you that you're doing a good job, and just understand that that dog's hot and that she's got a big motor. And I refer to this, I always tell everybody this. If you take a 3 or 4 year old like on Christmas morning and you let them run into the living room where Santa Claus just got there and they tear open 15 presents, right? And then you set that little kid down and you go, all right, well, what was the first present you opened? They're like, I don't know. Because they're so overtaken with excitement and joy and stuff. And they're like, I have no idea what. It goes back to that dog feels that same excitement every single time you pull the trigger.
Oh, it's every single day. It ain't hunting. It's just every day. When she wakes up, it's like, what am I doing today?
And then a lot of these dogs like that, especially when they're really younger, I see a lot of them struggle with marking. But that goes back to them being so excited and they're trying to contain it. As they get older, it gets a lot better. And we do a ton of work with them while they're home. And we do a ton of work with them before they go. And then every couple of months, they'll come home on a break and, we'll just break. And then during the off season, if they're not running for titles and stuff like that, we'll do pretty good bit of work for them. But Waylon, on the other hand, and this is where I see a lot of guys make a lot of mistakes. And I've had a bunch of dogs and a bunch of really, really good dogs. And one thing that I see guys do is they'll say, well, mama's really hot, right? Daddy's really calm and he's really easygoing and he don't really care if he goes or not. Mama would rather run through lava and die on the way to get that bird than not get a chance to go get it. And I'm going to breed those two and I'm going to make some really calm puppies. I'm here to tell you.
Why do you want to call him Puppy?
Well, they're just trying to meet in the middle somewhere with those two personalities. It's not like that.
No.
You have, and this is always some advice that I give people as well, is if you wouldn't hunt or own either one of those dogs, don't breed them, because you're going to have one or the other. You're not going to have a mixture. You're not going to water them down, right? They're going to be one or the other. Waylon, and I've always been that big advocate of a little dog, because I like to pick Timber up, like a sack of taters, and just tote her and put her on her stand. My big thing is, like, in the morning, especially in the timber, like, I don't want her to get wet.
Yeah.
Especially if it's cold. I mean, why do you want to get wet? So I'll just pick her up like a little loaf of bread or a sack of taters and just set her on the stand. And lo and behold, here comes Waylon. He's
a wrecking ball.
He's 96 pounds. He is 96 pounds, and
He's going to knock the stand down before he gets on it.
Yeah, I think like 72 of it's head. He's got the biggest head I've ever seen.
He does.
He's got a real big head.
But he's very, very pretty, and he's very proportioned for his size. And it's not like he's 8 foot tall, or he's too short and just too broad. Like he's big. He's a big old boy. And obviously, the plus side of that is he can pick up geese all day long. Or if you get into a rice field or something that's got a little bit too much water, where Timber or Lucy's going to want to try to swim and then jump and then swim and then jump, Waylon's going to just truck right through that and be perfectly fine. So I guess at the end of the day, I got the kind of the best of both worlds. But
you ain't toting him around.
No, you will not pick that dog up. I mean, you a squat. You got to squat and get him. I mean, you ain't just going to grab him up like what you do Timber or her. And then also, I get a lot of questions on people like, do I get a male or do I get a female, or do I get this or I get that? And this is what I've learned over the years is a female is always going to do it for you. She's going to do it because she loves you and she wants to please you. A male is always going to do it for himself. You've got to make him love it enough so he'll go. I mean, he likes you and he wants to hang out with you and be your buddy, but he don't love you like the girl dog does. Yeah. And you've had to work with Lucy quite a bit, and
yeah,
I think you've had some come to Jesus meetings with her, and I think she's probably had a couple come to Jesus meetings with you.
Yeah, we've had a bunch of meetings. Right or wrong, we've had a bunch of meetings.
But from the time that she got to where she could start, like, so this was her first year hunting, right?
Yeah.
And
she did great. I mean, she did everything I asked her to do. At her age, there's some things that I was wanting her to do that she just couldn't do or wasn't trained to do because I was so used to timber and everybody else.
She's not that old.
Yeah, I mean, it just wasn't her time yet. So, like I said, we had a bunch of meetings, right or wrong. We had a bunch of meetings, but I mean, she's 1,000 times better now, and she'll be great. But it was a doozy.
Yeah, it's different because Timber does have you kind of spoiled, but I also kept reiterating to you when you got her, I was like, when you start seeing that click when you're hunting and stuff, and it starts all coming together, like, you can't be any more proud of that. You're like a proud parent is what you are.
Now, like this year, we have a big family dove shoot, and 10 guys shoots a limit every day. And I was like, look, I don't even want to shoot. I just want to run a dog. This is her first ever dove shoot. Just let me run a dog. Mm-hmm. And yeah, she struggled in the beginning because she's used to ducks and she's picking up something she could swallow. And I was like, whoa. But
we don't eat them.
2 hours in, I mean, she's right there just doing what she's supposed to do. Yeah, and I didn't care about pulling the trigger all day. I can just sit there as long as I could work with her. Grandest day ever.
Yeah, and people are bragging on your dog and can't believe
because it was the only dog on the property. Like I said, we had 10, 12, maybe 15 guns. I don't remember. And I was just sending her every which way. She was dying by the end of the day because everybody's shooting limits, and like I just sending her everywhere. But she had fun. I had fun.
Nowhere else that dog would rather be.
No, loved it.
And so right now they're Lucy and Waylon, which are brother and sister, are out. They're up in Tennessee, getting ready to start running for some titles and some stuff like that. So hopefully soon enough they'll be past a lot of that kind of stuff, and we'll have them back for good. But I tell you what, I mean, Waylon. So when we had these puppies, Sarah would get up at 5:30 every morning with these dogs and get them out of the whelping box. And those little dogs did not go back in the whelping box until 11 o'clock at night, from the time that they could walk. And so, like, very early on, they were learning how to go up and down stairs. They were learning how to, I mean, she was taking them outside, letting them run around and do different stuff like that. And that's a huge contributing factor as far as introducing them to the world and stuff, and them, like, being scared of less things. So after that, it was just kind of, it's pretty much off to the races as far as introducing them to stuff goes. And I've not really found anything that Waylon's scared of.
No, Lucy neither. I mean, she was on the pontoon at 12 weeks, 15 weeks old.
Yeah.
I mean, she was right there all summer long. She was born in April. Come June, I mean, well, maybe July. I think we got her July the 4th weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And from that point on, she lived her first summer at the lake and just loved every second of it.
Yeah. You see a lot of guys make the mistake of, you know, this is a hunting dog, right? So I'm going to keep it up, and then I'm going to get it out to train and do stuff like that. And then, like, when that dog goes and gets in a situation that it's never been in, you know, then it freaks out. It can't focus on what the job at task is because it's too worried about other things. I've got a buddy that, Joseph, you and I both have that same buddy that he got this dog. I mean, thing's scared of everything. Scared of a boat. I mean, terrified of a mud motor. Scared of traffic. I mean, scared of people that didn't know. I mean, never was aggressive, just wanted to get out of the situation. Mm-hmm. So when you start taking it and traveling with it, you have to get out at a truck stop and air the dog out and stuff. I mean, it's just, it can't focus on anything. You put the dog in a high stress environment. So one good thing is to socialize the dog. Take it everywhere that you can possibly take it, and you know, the more you do that, the less things that will interrupt what that dog's actually intended for. Don't just lock it up and say, oh, it's a hunting dog, I'll get it out when it's time to hunt. That's not fair.
Right. It's more than a tool.
It is way more than a tool. It's a companion. I mean,
Lucy is at the end of the day, she's a couch potato family dog. She just gets to go hunting 60 days.
Yeah, she
loves to hunt. Outside of that, she's piled up with the kids on the couch watching God knows what.
Living her best life.
Yeah, trying to snatch some bacon off the counter every morning.
Well, I mean, she ain't scared to go down to the gas station. Lucas, I think you need to at least enlighten us on those. You've had a couple run-ins with the law and Lucy.
Yeah, there's a gas station 1/8 of a mile from the house.
It's closer than that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
it's in his brain.
You can see it.
Oh yeah, well, yeah. I mean, I guess maybe it's 1,000 foot. I don't know. Anyway, so wife lets her out, and then she's missing. She's like, "Oh, where's Lucy?" I said, "I don't know." So I get in a golf cart or side by side something. I'm riding around, look down towards the gas station, and there's 2 police cars and Lucy. And I said, "Oh." So I pull in there. I said, "Lucy, here." She runs, jumps up on the golf cart or whatever I was on. And they're like, "Is this your dog?" And I was like, "Well, yeah. I mean," and he's like, "Well, we had to come. We got called. We had to come down here. She was inside the store getting a roller dog, a hot dog, off the heaters in the gas station." And I was like, "Ooh." what do I owe? And they're like, oh, nothing. They're not. It ain't like that.
They're not pressing charges. Just on your dog.
We just had to come and get her out of the store, and I was like, sorry about that, bud. Here, I'll take her. And so then, what was it? 3 or 4 months went by, and I come up here to Drew's, the exact same cop. Got Waylon in the back seat of the police car. And I was like, oh, what's up there? He done run off and found some chickens down the road, and he's harassing chickens. Yeah, y'all two come by it naturally. Y'all's best friend is a police car.
So-
Rebel dogs.
So the next day I get on and I order the spot on collars for my dogs now. So now I don't have to worry about them leaving or doing anything like that. Because Lucas, like I've had a run in with that guy before. That's the one that picked up Lucy for getting the roller dogs out of the gas station. I said, "Who let that dog in the gas station?" Heck, I don't know. She was just sitting there trying to snatch a roller dog off.
She's just trying to get her some dinner.
God. What's the dates of Delta? Do you remember?
I'll have to ask my wife.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
I think it is
It's June. It's July.
July
something. It's
26th, I think.
Maybe.
Okay, I
It's
don't know.
that Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is the show.
Baton Rouge. So Deacon informed me. I didn't know this, that we're all flying and him and Logan are driving.
We'll see how all that works out, but I think that's part of the game plan right now. Is we gonna?
That's what I was told Saturday.
I tell you what I'm doing, regardless of what y'all do.
What are you doing?
I'm getting on a jet plane.
Yeah, that's a long way.
Yeah, and I don't care if I ever go back to Louisiana. Oh, and they canceled our fishing tournament.
Really? Why? What happened?
I don't know.
So look how y'all harassed everybody there
They
last year.
it's funny because just a couple of days before, Rhett had called me. He's like, "Are you going?" And I was like, "I wasn't going to, but now that you're calling me, I feel like I got to."
FOMO.
It kicked in hard. He's like, "Come on," and I'm like, "We'll see." And then like 2 days later, they canceled it. I need to call him tomorrow, actually.
Figure out why.
Yeah, I mean, there was no explanation why they canceled it either. It was a pretty big tournament. Anyways, just
Because the guy that
It really
owns-
wasn't that big.
I mean, it's pretty popular. It's pretty big.
Yeah, but you see all the prizes them boys had. Somebody was going in the hole. I don't know if those were all donations or not, but that was a lot of prizes for no more people than I seen there.
Oh yeah. Well, you got to think too. You're on an island, pretty much in the middle.
Well, you have to pay all those girls to come there. You had to rent them that whole. I mean, my God, that was like a hotel they rented out there. And
You
then
know
the
what's
food and
funny is, like,
everything that's a lot.
The entry fee for that, for what you get, is insane. It was $100 a team.
Oh, that's cheap.
Yeah, but it's open bar 2 nights.
Open bar.
When I
2
tell you
nights.
that man was in deep in the red.
2
Yeah.
open bars. And the ladies, the nice young ladies that were there.
Yeah, plus their room and board, plus all the prizes. I mean, just yeah.
Didn't have
I
to
don't
worry
know.
about you winning the prize, did they?
I ain't going back down there. I lost a motor cow, about lost a cooler. I got a dent in my truck.
Oh, the truck. That was the deciding factor.
Hey, let me tell you something. Them mosquitoes down there, oh, good God Almighty! When I swear to God, when the sun goes down, there's a dinner bell ringing at a frequency that we can't even hear in our own ears, and only them mosquitoes can hear it. I was on the phone first night we got down there, talking to Sarah and the girls, and it was still some daylight. 10 minutes into that conversation, I mean, it looked like I was fighting a spirit off or something. I mean, I had to tell her, I was like, I love y'all. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Because it was loud where we were at. I mean, I had knots all over me. I mean, it was crazy. But during the day, nothing. As soon as the sun went down, it was like, it's on now. They done woke up and got out of bed and they was hungry.
Yeah, you don't stay outside long down there.
No, heck no.
Think we can steal their the ladies that help work that and come to the boat run?
Oh, I'm sure if you got enough money, they'll come anywhere you want to.
Well, this is your boat run. This is your baby.
That's your idea, Lucas. It's your checkbook.
No. Hipster.
I'll probably call 1 or 2 of them down there. I'm just kidding, Courtney. I don't have a phone number. Oh, God. All right, guys. Well, I guess we're going to wrap this up for
Yeah.
episode 5. I don't know. We've been talking about. I don't know where we're really going from here. going to be every week maybe, or now we may start going every 2 weeks. We'll just surprise you. Who knows?
For those of y'all that are still listening,
Yeah, that's the deciding factor, really.
There's a wives edition that's on the way.
Yeah.
There is one that's coming that'll probably be good because we're going to get hammered.
Yeah.
it'll be better than anything we've ever done.
Mine's already taken notes.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, mine's fixing to drag me.
Oh, I figured.
But we got one that's not married, so I think we put his mom in his place.
Oh my God.
Nah.
That would be good.
Yeah.
Y'all better get your hearing impaired caption.
Yeah, you'll have to.
I'm not
the cat-
editing that video. You can.
Yeah, you'll have to. I don't know. We'll have to do talk to text or something.
Subtitles on that
Yeah.
thing. Good Lord.
It'll be wild.
All right. Well, it's been real fun. We appreciate you guys hanging around with us. And until next week, we'll see you later.
Adios.